gist of the operation was that we had fairly credible information that Kareem was in a home there.
Turned out later he did in fact engage us.
I think I read something once where 7 blocks of C4 will eliminate the human body. Well, this is 8, so.
He's going to ask them to get their women and children put up, and we're coming in to look at their place. We are going in no matter what. Have Wayne and Sultan come up!
5 rockets set up, primed, ready to go, aimed at us.
I teach some women in Afghanistan how to speak English. I feel very responsible to be over here as a mother and as a American.
We own the night. We have all the technology, we have all the equipment that allows us to see in the night. The enemy can't see us, he has a much more difficult time hitting us when he shoots at us. Working at night, officers had advantage, plus the other advantage is in the Afghan society, once it gets dark, people rarely move around. We have a much greater chance of finding people at their homes. Our intended target was an AQ cell leader named Kareem. He was a bomb maker, a guy who had placed them in roads, mines, and so on and so forth to try and kill coalition forces. And we were trying to get him because he was the last one from that AQ cell that we hadn't yet got.
John Balls will locate a guy he wants, send him to the house, try and talk Kareem into coming out so we don't endanger the wife and kids. Leaders, exercise initiative. Utilize your SOPs. Right? Respond with fire, suppress the fire, move and adjust your people, back it up. Right? All adult males are coming in.
I think the gist of the operation was that we had fairly credible information that Kareem was in a home there with some of his family members. Kareem is pretty notorious for, again, moving around and doing a lot of traveling. I think the commander's intent was to act on it because we knew he wouldn't be there for very long.
When you're dealing with Afghan sources, almost always intelligence is wrong about the target. Right now, we've rolled up to the location, and what we found is that the so-called isolated compound that we were going to was actually in the middle of a village, and that these positions were pretty untenable. Instead of being wide fields around the place, there were narrow streets.
Yeah, and we're in the middle of a bunch of compounds here. We're moving to the east again.
In Afghanistan as a whole, since Operation Anaconda, a lot of what we're seeing is small groups will come in from Pakistan using like secondary roads and trails, but staying in the small groups, it makes less of a signature for them. It's easier for them to hide themselves in one particular compound, whereas if there were 30 of them, everyone and their brother would know that they were, there's 30 guys in this compound. That's what we're seeing a lot of.
Hey, there's somebody on the roof right there. Mike, take your run back.
Take those two away so they can't hear me talk. This was a brother of Kareem. He pointed out to us that there was a man in there with an AK-47 pointed at the door that was going to kill any American who set foot in the compound. We're trying to get him to get the women and children out of there because that's what we try to do, is get anyone out of harm's way that we can get out.
Tell him that we believe that Kareem is in there, and we're going to have to go in and search. If those women or children get hurt, it's on his head. God will hold him accountable because he lied to us.
I was real unhappy with the way the one guy was acting, particularly since he wouldn't go back in and try to talk the guy out who had the weapon. I threatened him with Cuba to see if there would be a change in his attitude.
If any of my soldiers get hurt, he will go to Cuba for the rest of his life.
And there wasn't. He didn't care. But I wasn't all that concerned about it. There's plenty of people around here who hate Americans, who have AKs and want to shoot Americans. In order to engage a sniper, would have to get up on a roof or get past our lines from where he was, to where it was reported he was.
If we got this surrounded, we better.
It turned out later he did, in fact, engage us.
Negative, I didn't see nothing.
That's when we got fired on. We were sitting there at the back of that vehicle when some rounds went off. They were very, very close by, and you could hear them cracking by over our heads. This is combat ops, and there are always armed people that are the enemy that we're faced with. One Afghan individual who had come up the side street had managed to get through the AMF cordon to a position where he could place his weapon around the corner and fire it down the street. Our AMF fired on him and struck him and knocked him down. But we didn't know that at this time because the AMF wasn't able to communicate that to us. You can see the downed soldier, you can see the weapon. Soldier being the wrong term, this is a terrorist. It's not a soldier. They declared this guy dead when they got back to me. We were responding quickly because Kareem knew that we were after him. We had taken off several members of his cell who were able to give us very good information. And he knew it. We knew that he knew and that he was on the run.
Get down!
We had taken off a number of those players. They were in custody. They were being interrogated and being held. What I had decided was, rather than work through the night trying to deal with these people, we would get air overhead, get Spectre overhead, and wait until daylight, and then begin to exploit the area. We met with all these village elders, had a discussion with them about the situation and how unhappy we were. We told the elders we wanted the body of the dead guy. They knew nothing about it. We sent them in, and they came back out later and said, there is no dead guy, but there's a wounded guy. He is in Kareem's compound. He's very badly hurt.
Give them a stretcher.
Well, they brought the injured guy out. He's a young brother of Kareem. We have pretty highly skilled medics, beyond the normal scope of a field medic. These guys can do everything just about up to including field surgery of limited types.
If Joe Public, Afghani, doesn't trust you, he's not going to want to come and talk to you. When they know that you're there for a good reason, that you're genuine, when you say that you're going to do something this way and you're going to treat people this way and you do that, they know that you're there to help and they want to be part of that. They don't want to see another occupying force like the Soviet Union was. They want someone that's actually going to help.
That's not bad at all.
He's got a through-and-through gunshot wound, AK-47 round, that went in above one hip and came out the backside of one of his buttocks.
Yeah, it's a nice clean wound. Comes through here and here. BP's 110/90.
His vital signs were really pretty good. You know, he was in a lot of pain. In fact, he was quite delirious from pain and from loss of fluids. We arranged a medevac and sent him out. We met with all these village elders. They claimed that Kareem had forced his way into their village and had taken over the compound by force. They're Gurbaz tribe, and Gurbaz tribe are notorious for supporting Al-Qaeda and Taliban. They claim to be supportive of us, but their actions in the past and currently don't necessarily add up to that. Kareem was there. He's not there now. But this village does support Al-Qaeda because they get paid to do it. Al-Qaeda still pays them to support people and allow them to use Kareem's house as a safe house. Kareem's in custody. He's in the custody of ISID in Pakistan. I will feel much better when Kareem has been turned over to the U.S. and is in U.S. custody outside of Pakistan. The key is getting him to Guantanamo where he belongs.
Our force projection has been great. I mean, the commander has done an excellent job with that, and if we wouldn't have disrupted Kareem's cell, God only knows how many command detonated mines were blown up on the road as our convoy passed. So we basically rendered that cell ineffective to date.
My name is Staff Sergeant Bird. I'm in the 764th Explosive Ordnance Disposal Company. My job here is Explosive Ordnance Disposal Technician. We're picking up all the stuff and getting rid of it. We're going to dispose of it in the demo range.
I'm Sergeant Phil Illich. My favorite part of the job is going out, finding a piece of ordnance, making sure that it's safe, taking it out somewhere, and blowing it up.
That's going to go in shot number 1, the hole on the left. When you go through the...
was used by the Soviets. It was used as an airfield for their bombers and fighter planes. When they left everything here just the way it was when they were here. The aircraft, the rockets, missiles, minefields.
The trucks we're waiting for are loaded with all the explosives we're getting rid of today. One of them has all the bombs that we loaded last week. One of the other two has all the Bangalore torpedoes we're using as explosives to destroy all this stuff today. Here come the camels already. We have civil affairs coming out here later to gather up all these camel jockeys, we call them, make sure they're out of the area.
What we're doing is taking these rocket motors and we're laying them across here, not stacking them on top of each other. Any questions, anything? Let's get to work.
These are what we're going to destroy today. They're Russian air-to-air missiles, and these are just the rocket motors. We're disposing of them. Close, you can get them. The reason we're putting them in a line is so we can make sure they all detonate at the precise moment. Otherwise, if we pile them in a big pile and put explosives just on the top, there's a good chance that they would take off like rockets are intended to take off. That one needs to come up, don't it? Pass it to me, I can hold it. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay, can't hold it much longer. Hey, don't drop that, it's a rocket. These are the Bangalore torpedoes we were talking about. These are the clearing charges. And we're using these to detonate the rockets.
To do an explosion that's 7,000 pounds is just amazing. That is just something that we don't get to do back in the States. So that's one of the highlights of actually coming over to a country like this. Is getting out there and just destroying a whole lot of stuff. This is just a case of C4. This is 30 blocks of C4. Each block is 1.25 pounds. Actually did a couple of shots with C4. One of them was just one block inside of a car. And it was plenty to get rid of the car. So this is pretty high explosive stuff. It's a plastic explosive.
You can pack it into a little area like that right there. If I was holding that in my hand and it detonated, I'd lose. They're down.
So this shot today, it's gonna be the equivalency of 5,000 sticks of C4. I think I read something once where 7 blocks of C4 will eliminate the human body. Well, this is 8, so that's great.
We're about 6 kilometers from Bagram, but they're gonna feel this today anyway, even if we are this far away. We're gonna rock them. Okay, we're done here. We got everything set up, and now all we need to do is go back to the safe area, 2 kilometers north of here, and detonate it from there. Let's go. All right, when are we 1 minute out?
Fire in the hole!
Fire in the hole!
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Firing.
When I look at an explosion, you see the big flash of the fireball, and then it rolls into a smoke cloud, but at that same time, you're seeing the shockwave peel across the ground. It's just amazing. It's like nuclear war films. You see the shockwave just go flying across the ground, dust kicks up from it, and it's really amazing. And then that shockwave hits you, and the boom of it, and you hear it rolling through the hills. It's just an amazing force.
That was so good looking. That was great.
That makes it worth it right there. That's what it's all about.
And we're waiting for Rich now. On Mike, married, 3 children. My family writes to me constantly. I want to go over order of movement, Will. I call them constantly. I need to be here. They're supportive, but you know, 6 months, a long time, being completely away. I'm ready to go back, see him, take care of business back home. All right, I just want to discuss actions on an objective and order of movement. It's a knock and talk. So mainly what we're doing is we're going to walk up the door, we're going to knock with the AMF, support the Sultan. He's going to ask them to get their women and children put up, and we're coming in to look at their place. We are going in no matter what, but the first option is for them to let us come in. Everybody understand that, 101? We're looking for documents, and there's supposed to be maybe 6 people in here with families, 6 men with families. All of them are supposed to be tied in with Haqqani. The sources we had, they also said a guy came from Pakistan with a lot of money with a red beard. We're going to talk to him. The second compound on our right. The second compound on our right. 20 Bravo copies. We're not going to be able to pull the trucks up to the side, so make that adjustment. How copy? The compound where the antenna is located. The compound where the antenna is located is the target. Over. Roger. Bravo, Juliet, copy. Make sure you keep an eye on this back wall. Keep going, Bill. Keep an eye on this wall up here. No. Have Lane and Sultan come up. Go back in. Get that guy back inside. Where's Jamal at? Jamal! Go ahead and knock. Get that guy back inside. Another man on that door.
Knowing when to be scared, when to be on your toes. It's difficult, and it does take a certain mindset.
Yeah, check that door there. Red beard right there. Right there.
We'll take that one now.
Not now. Wait. Go ahead and go to your next room, clear it. 3 guys. 1 outside, 3 inside. I need all those open. All of them.
There's no need to tear anything up. There's no need to break anything, and there's no need to throw or make the room in disarray. There's no reason for that. We go in calm, cool, collected, I like to think, and we just do. We talk to them. Do you have keys to this lock? Yes, we do. We go ahead and they open it for us.
That's in Arabic. That's for service.
Briefcase, bring it out.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Just found some RPGs down there.
Okay.
20 Bravo, 24 Alpha, over.
Go ahead, 24 Alpha.
I've got the house elder of the house that's adjoining this one outside, over.
Make sure they're clean. The sources we had gave a name of the homeowner. He showed up, so we've got him. We're going to take him in for questioning. And then they also said a guy came from Pakistan with a lot of money with a red beard, so we're going to take them both in and just do some questioning.
Tell them to go away. Tell all of them to leave.
You need to leave. Hey, what part of this thing do you understand? Tell them to leave.
Take his turban off or no?
Yep.
Hold that.
One will be in with me.
We've been going to villages every day. We've been talking with people every day. We're constantly with them, with one village or another, one compound or another. They spread the word around about how we go into compounds. Yes, they were here. Yes, they searched our whole area. No, they didn't tear up anything. No, they didn't break any locks. No, they didn't break any doors. They didn't chase our women around. If the villages are doing fine, there's going to be less hatred toward our side, being here on their land, and basically being a hindrance. Or if there is a hindrance, we want to make sure that it's very low key. It's a fine line, but you get used to it.
Profiles from the front line will continue in a moment here on ABC.
We received information from a lot of sources that Jalaluddin Haqqani and some of the other terrorist leaders have been sending funds into this region and trying to get local al-Qaeda to injure, kill Americans in the hopes that the Americans will then leave. Received a report this morning, just a few minutes ago, that on a hill a little ways from here overlooking the airfield there are 5 rockets set up, primed, ready to go, aimed at us. Leave part of a squad as security on the vehicles. Bring the rest with me. There's a security force from a local village security that's around it. We're going to determine where they're aimed and how they're primed and take a look at them, see what evidence we can gather of who might have put them there, and then destroy them in place.
watching for mechanical or remote ambush. Okay? I see the water cans. I want to take a good look, because if somebody's sitting on a hill over there waiting for us to get close, and then they trigger it and blow it up. So just everybody stay back. You can see the contacts here. The contact to the can, the contact around the wood. As the water drains, the wood goes down, the copper wire makes contact with the can, closes the circuit, and electrically detonates the rockets. Very simple, but they haven't pulled the nail to drain. So they've set it up. For some reason, either they forgot or it hasn't drained. Very ingenious. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these rockets and leave everything else in place. And do it from the side. Don't get behind them in case they go. Just removing the wire. I'm gonna go ahead and get GPS reading. Target. It's on the right hand. Someone taught them how to do this, because they would never figure this out. You can make a quick sweep, make sure no one's sitting off down the edge of the hill that we've forgotten, and then come back here and we'll go down. Guys, don't it? Let's go 10 minutes. No, let's go 15. We gotta get down to the trucks. We're good to go. Go ahead and start down. Are you ready? Safety pins out. 3, 2, 1. Got a good burn. And time. Fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole. Looks like about 9-minute timer over. Load up, let's move the truck. We had a walk-in source that was identified an anti-tank mine in place near a road, the main road that Americans would travel, and it's there for the purpose of blowing up American convoy when it goes by or through the area.
He's afraid to get out. He says these people coming can show us where it is. Jamal's talking him into it.
Hey, Jamal, tell him if I can risk my life for his country, he can risk it right alongside of me. It's off to the edge of that other road that kind of came off on the angle right there.
This guy said in second burn we will see our target.
Okay, just wait here. Jim? We got it.
Said I'm going myself.
All right. Because I'm going to pull a vehicle up there, one of the vehicles up there with the grenade launcher, and they're going to launch grenades and blow up the mine. I have him put that with it so it's shiny.
Very broken. Say again over. Roger.
I'll tell you when. Whenever you're ready, Gunner.
All right, I'm fine.
Okay, you're over. Drop her down. Okay, again. I think you hit it.
Got it.
Woo. Good man. Yeah!
Hell yeah.
That's quite all right. That's what you're here for. Mount up! Oh, it's a wedding. I just can't get over the stupidity of this kind of stuff. Yeah, you go tell them to put the guns down. Where there's a protection issue for my soldiers, where they are firing weapons in a celebratory fashion for weddings, which is very common here, and it endangers my soldiers or endangers our aircraft, I go ahead and I take those weapons away. That is so stupid. Celebratory fire. Corps units, be advised, we've got a wedding on the hillside over here. That's what the shooting was about.
دور څه کې میو ته چې امریکایي سره غلي دا چې امریکایي خزادم غونو منډه می تو خزام غونو منډه دا کې یو خال کرتا و چې دا رو د په مخ اړه
شراب
خبرې مونږ کسب
ته مونږ د ازینه وکړه ځکه اند تاسو نو ولوي ته ما دا خبره و دا ورته د اړه
زه به وسوګه صبر کړه
What do you say?
Sultan said that I went there
and
called those people, and this guy told them that shoot this guy.
Okay, he said enough. Now tell me what he said enough. Tell him to shut up again.
He said that the wedding party is his brother. Yeah, and they are shooting bullets. This guy said that when I came out, I saw plenty people there, and I asked that who are they people? Why they came here? He said, I didn't know that these are police, these are American soldiers, or these are someone else.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
My turn. Okay. I'm pleased to make my acquaintance of this elder here. I'm pleased to meet this elder. He's definitely very old and very wise. And if he's so wise, how come they do something so stupid as to shoot guns in the air? No, I'm not done. I'm not done. When I'm done. The governor has asked you people not to shoot at wedding ceremonies. Everybody has asked you. The Americans have asked you, and still you people do that. There's Americans here in the area. We're here to help you and your country, and you don't even have enough respect to put the guns away so we don't have to worry about you and your people. I very much enjoy some of the relationships with the Afghan people that I've developed. And I very much deplore some of the behavior of some of the Afghan people that I've known.
He said that you are completely right. This is our fault. We are full of shit. This is his speech.
There are days when I think I would like to come back and see it in 10 years, 15 years, if it's able to have a chance to develop. And then there are other days that I don't ever want to set foot in this freaking country again. It's just incredibly stupid. It's just too stupid for words.
Miles now, roll, all night long. My name is Elizabeth Gales, Sergeant in the Army. I'm a nurse. I'm from Seaside, California, which is on the Monterey Peninsula. Top has got the guitar. I'm on the microphone. I've got a combined service time of 16 years. Rock me, all night now. I've been in theater for about 6 months now, and this is my first deployment, peacetime or wartime. I have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. They're 7, 11, 12, and 14. Leaving my children was very difficult because I love my children, and nobody wants to be away from their children. But at the same time, I feel very responsible to be over here as a mother and as an American. If anyone would have asked me 10 years ago what I think I would be doing in 10 years, I never would have thought that I would be in Afghanistan. Never thought that I would be walking down the street looking up at the Hindu Kush Mountains. Today I'm going to brace myself to take on a different culture altogether. I'm going to teach some women in Afghanistan how to speak English. All the schools got closed down in Afghanistan, so there were no schools for a very long time. Part of our implied responsibility here not only is to provide the medical care for the locals that are here, but to assist them in rebuilding their community. Part of that is to rebuild their school for their children. With the Taliban gone now, they're actually educating their people. Their country is changing, and it's changing for the better. Education is part of that change. The school is in really bad shape, but it's got potential, and they are working on it, and I think it's going to be a really good thing once they get it all up and running to the level where it needs to be. Good morning. How are you? One thing about these students that are in this school is they don't care. They don't care that there are no lights. They haven't had power in I don't know how long, and they're still excited to learn. And as long as they're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. A. B. The little girls are not required to wear the burqa until they get to a certain age. So the little girls that I taught English to were just required to keep their hair covered with their little scarves on. Y. Z. Good. You. There was one little girl in the class that reminded me of Marquita, my daughter. And it's just because she was so outgoing and outspoken. And she had the cute little smile and everything. But that just made it all the more, exciting, because I was actually teaching somebody my children's age. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? I'm going to let you practice your ABCs at home. And then when you come back, then I'll teach you the song. Okay? Very good. Fun. They like pins. Hey.
Pens are scarce.
They're like gold around here. They like gifts. They like pens and they like gum. Found out the hard way. They almost attacked me over it like I was carrying a piece of gold or something. But it just goes to show, they appreciate the little things. They like the little things, they appreciate the little things. And I just wish that my children would be able to be here so that they can see. They're beautiful. I don't think that they take for granted everything that they have in the States. It's just that I just truly believe that they would have a genuine understanding and appreciation for these children trying to learn over here in a different country. It breaks my heart to know that the little girls here in Bagram are not going to have that opportunity to even have the option of being independent. They don't have a choice in the matter. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to teach them a little bit. I've seen things here that have just been an eye-opening experience in my lifetime. And you cannot go home the same person that you deployed in after seeing everything that I've seen. There's no way.